Everyone thinks grilled cheese is the easiest recipe that there is. Well, to make a really good grilled cheese like we do at the Wedge, it takes quality ingredients and a little bit of finesse. The first thing that we start with is softened butter. If your butter isn't soft, it'll tear up your bread, or if it's too soft and if it's liquidy, then the bread's going to get soaked with it. You want to match the bread up to make sure this side's going to get buttered, this side's going to get buttered. We don't want the opposite sides like that because it won't match up. So we want the bread to be matched up like that. We want to put an even coat over the entire piece of the bread. You don't want it to be on too thick. If there's overlap, just take that off and you can wipe it off. What we do is we build them on our turners. So we butter the bottom, we put butter side down. All right, the next thing we do is put our cheese on. If we're going to put 3 different pieces of cheese on, if we just put them on 3 pieces like that, we got some spots where there's 1 level of cheese and some spots where there's 3 levels of cheese. So if you're going to put 3 pieces of cheese on, and I've got a Colby Jack and I've got a Monterey Jack, just tear it in half or cut it in half and then make a nice even 2 layers all throughout your sandwich. At the Wedge we use real butter. I know there's some people that use margarine, like the way it performs in mayonnaise, but the flavor of butter on a grilled cheese is second to none. It's a little bit more delicate on the grill, and I know people use mayonnaise because you can go super high temp and you might be able to get them off the grill a little bit faster. But with our experience here, and we've sampled a little bit trying some with mayo, real butter gives the best flavor and the best grill. Ideally going to be grilling at a temperature of 325 to 350. I assume most people at home are going to be using a cast iron skillet or a no-stick skillet or a griddle. And we've used no-stick griddles before and they perform very well. And what I'm doing right now is I get a little pan oil, and if you're using a cast iron skillet, you want to use a little pan oil or a little bit of butter, and you want to season the grill. If you want the first one to turn out good, you want to do a nice coat on the grill before you get started. Well, I build them on the turner. I'll set the turner on there. If you've been talking or you've been making multiple sandwiches, sometimes that butter will get firm, so you can leave the turner on the grill a little bit to melt the butter, and you can just slide it right off. Ideally, when you're grilling a grilled cheese, you're going to flip it one time. You're going to have about 2 to 2.5 minutes on one side, and you'll flip it and you'll grill it about 2.5 minutes on the other side. After about 2 minutes, I think the other side's about ready. I don't throw my sandwiches in the air. I balance the top of them. I set the side down and I let it fall. We're putting bacon on them, we're putting tomatoes, we're putting all sorts of different ingredients, and they will definitely fall apart if you try to flip. If you're having a hard time getting your cheese to melt all the way through, and I tell you the key to making a good grilled cheese is having a nice brown bread. If we're having trouble with the cheese melting, you can put a saucepan over the top of it, you can put a metal lid over the top of it, we put a pie pan over the top of it. That'll give a little bit of steam, and that will help further melt the cheese if you're having a hard time melting the cheese, which I don't think we are. You can see the cheese melting through on it. All right, and that's just, and you can take a little peek if you want. It looks good on that side, and it's ready to be served. All right, when you're cutting your grilled cheese, the best thing to do is just like guillotine it. Just chop it straight through with a sharp knife, and that's the way it should look. It's melted all the way through. It's gooey. There's no unmelted cheese on it, and it's brown on both sides. This is the perfect 3-cheese grilled cheese.